Last episode, we built these DIY outdoor chairs. And in today's episode, we're turning them into DIY heated outdoor furniture. I think I might be inventing this idea. I don't know, but let's get started on modern builds. To start, I should note, I'm not an electrician. This is a big experiment, but we're gonna have fun. So notice, these cushions are in the same orientation that they were in the chair. And that's because I want both of the zippers to close on the same corner. This is where wires are gonna feed in and out of, and I made these simple stickers out of tape with an arrow on it to make sure I keep track of what's my show face and what orientation everything's sitting so I don't mess up. Because that would stink if I accidentally put heating elements on the back of the cushions. And after that, I just took the cushions out of the covers and then set them to the side. And this mess of wires is what's making our heated furniture possible. On one end, there's a USB that plugs into a battery pack, which then goes to your 3-way switch button, powering 8 different heating pads. And these are the exact same things that are inside of heated jackets and snowsuits, so they should work great. I hope. That's what we're gonna find out. The wires leading to the heating pads are all different lengths. After I sorted and detangled them, I selected 4 of them for the seat cushion and got them all lined up. And next we'll be testing different methods of attaching these. I can already feel it getting warm, so that's very cool, but I'm gonna unplug it for now. And these are the 4 different options I wanna try to attach these heating pads to the inside of our cushion. The first being 3M multi-purpose spray adhesive. This is a lot like contact glue. You know it's dry if you can touch it and it's not tacky. If it sticks to your finger, it's not ready to bond yet. Oh, that's sticking really well. All right, test 1 complete. Moving on to number 2. And we are using another adhesive. This is Weldwood contact cement. It says it's flexible and water resistant when it's dry, but I'm thinking this might be a little heavy duty. This is like what I've used to attach laminates onto plywood. The suspicion ultimately ended up being correct, but make sure you stay tuned to see the results of what this ended up looking like. Also holding well, let's move on to step 3, which is iron-on fabric adhesive. I've also seen this called hem tape, but it's a simple product. You use an iron to adhere one side onto the cushion and then peel the paper from the adhesive, place down the heating pad where you want it to be, and then run the iron around the perimeter again. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't run the iron over the wires. Feels sturdy. And test number 4 is my only non-permanent adhesive solution. It is these little Velcro dots. I won't lie, I'm a little bit concerned that these will not be heavy duty enough, but I love the idea of being able to remove these heating pads in case anything goes wrong, or if you just want to wash the cushions. I guess we'll have to find out. It's staying stuck on there, but the cool part is this heating pad is now removable. And as long as the cushions are going to be able to slide in without these moving, I would consider this a success. And that is officially seat cushion complete. I can remove this tag, and now we'll orient this back cushion because it's not lined up correct yet. The zipper opens here and closes here, which means this all needs to be turned to meet at this corner. This is where both zippers close. And we put the sticker right here, knowing that our pads need to be on this side, lined up perpendicular. I'll be trying all 4 of the same adhesives on the back cushion because it's a little bit more billowy and soft than the butt cushion is. And I'm curious how it'll work and how it'll look. This is probably where I should mention that I'll leave links to all the materials and supplies that I used for this project in the description below. I'll also leave a link to the chair build video if you're interested in seeing how I made these chairs we're adding heat to. I think we're done with that step. Now we need to turn these cushions right side out. Gently. Still in there good? And I'll go seat cushion first. It was a snug fit, but it worked great. And I'm hoping we've got enough wire length for the back cushion. And this wire length ended up being one of the big things I wanted to improve in version 2. I think this is gonna work. The cushions are connected, so I gotta put them in together, but it looks like this just might work. Now I really wish I had a little bit more lead between the cushions. I unzipped this back cushion a tiny bit to make sure it could sit how I like, but we have the perfect amount of lead between the button and where our USB is gonna go. Up here, hidden in the arm, so the battery pack is out of any weather. The button will sit somewhere about right here in the middle, but it doesn't sit flat because of the wires on the back.
So I'm gonna use this felt pad that's a little over an 1/8 inch thick to create a riser that'll go around the edge, allowing the wires to still feed through the bottom.
I just used the felt pad because it didn't require any specialty tools and hot glued it to the chair.
And now we need to mount the battery. And for the simple version of the heated outdoor furniture, I'm doing the most basic solution I can think of. And as you can see, that's Velcro. And I'm just hoping that this is gonna be strong enough. We'll do a more permanent solution on version 2.0.
But let's see if this Velcro is strong enough.
Oh, it worked. And then I'll just tuck this wire a little bit back here. Let's test it out. I've let it sit for a few minutes. I'm gonna see if it's warm. Oh, no way. I can actually feel it. That's so cool. And right now, the cushion away from the heating pads reads 70 degrees.
But on our heating element, we are reaching, whoa, 96. On that one, 99, almost 100. I do wish though that I did my adhesive testing on some fabric that wasn't these cushions, because the brush-on contact adhesive is way too visible. It just looks bad. It's easy to see where it bled through on both cushions. Aside from that though, most of these wires look good. This is the spray-on contact adhesive here and here. You can see the heating element quite a bit if that's what you're wanting to show off as a conversation starter. And here's where I use the iron-on fabric adhesive strips. It hides all the wires a lot better. It's the most inconspicuous permanent bond. But I think my favorite is the Velcro for two reasons. One, all the wires are super hidden, and two, this makes everything removable. It's a good thing though, I've got more cushions, so let's make a more Super Pro version 2.0. That kind of rhymed. I started chair version 2.0 a little bit different than I did on the first. This time I took all 4 of the heating pads with the long wires and I used those on the seat cushion. That way the junction point where all the wires meet is going to be on the outside of the seat cushion and the back cushion. I'm using the Velcro dots to attach all of my heating pads now that I know that it's my preferred method, but feel free to do whatever you want. And now we've got a lot more slack leading to where all these wires join, and that's a good thing. But unfortunately, we've got one problem pad here in the back cushion, and it's this one that has to reach the furthest. My plan is to cut this out and replace it by splicing in a heating pad with a longer wire from one of my early experiments. If you wanted though, you could also just lengthen this with a little bit of thin gauge wire. On each of these wires feeding the pad, there's one wire marked with a little gray line and one that's just plain black. So make sure you connect like wires. And now, if I did everything right, I should be able to turn my covers right side out and I should have plenty of lead. That'll be a huge upgrade.
Still attached.
That's good. And then I flip the seat cover right side out. And there we go, look at all that slack. Cushion time. I tried my best not to snag on a wire. Pads haven't moved. And now when I zip everything up, you can see how much extra lead I've got. I think now we've got the perfect amount of slack that this cushion can now sit where I want it to. And all the wire splices are inside of the cushion. That's good. The other thing I'm super impressed by is how inconspicuous all of this is. And what's crazy is you can barely see where the heating elements are. They've almost totally disappeared, and here you can barely see the Velcro dots. But on this back cushion, there's basically nothing I can see. So I'm just excited, this is looking really good. And now I wanna do a fancier version of our button and battery mount for 2.0. I started by marking a scrap piece of wood to the outside perimeter of my button. Then I drilled out a hole in the middle and I used my jigsaw to create an opening that's going to create space for the wires to sit. This piece of wood is going to act like a riser for the button. After a quick sand, I used hot glue to attach the riser to the button and then the riser to the chair frame. And if you didn't have a hot glue gun, super glue also works for sticking that rubber to wood. I also wanted to make a little bit more refined storage for the battery, so I'm making a basic shelf or small storage nook for it. I'm using some scrap 1x4 material that I planed down to about a 1/2 inch thick. I used glue and nails to create this little shelf before sanding the wood frame and using wood glue to attach the shelf into the inside corner of the armrest so that it's away from any rain or weather. After this set for about 30 minutes and dried, I applied a quick coat of spar urethane to blend the finish with what's on the chair. And before I plug in my battery, I'm gonna take the USB lead and feed it through the inside of the chair and then power up. And with this upgraded shelf, we can store all of our excess wire. It's not perfect, but a cleaner look than version 1. Now let's heat up. To turn mine on, I just needed to hold this button a couple of seconds. Really quick, I'd like to give a big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring today's episode. If you need a website or an online store, Squarespace is your one-stop shop, and it has never been easier to create a one-of-a-kind website with their new cutting-edge design tools like Blueprint AI, Squarespace's AI-enhanced website builder. And there's tons of cool features like Squarespace's SEO integration. They do all the complicated back-end work to make sure that you show up more often on search engines, leading to more clients. And with Squarespace Invoices, you can get paid faster and impress clients with on-brand invoices. Plus, you can streamline your workflow from proposals to contracts, invoice, and seamless online payments all in one place. And finally, with Squarespace email campaigns, you got all the tools you'll need to engage your clients, promote your services, and build your business built in. So to learn more, make sure and follow my link down in the description. That's squarespace.com/modernbuilds. And then when it's time to make your new site live, don't forget to use my code modernbuilds for 10% off your first site, store, or domain with Squarespace. As always, big thanks to Squarespace. Now let's get back to this build. And it's only been like 45 seconds or a minute, but I'm feeling the heat. Temperature check, 76 versus 93, almost 94, and it's still going up. It's working. And next, I'm gonna cut to a montage where I'm gonna make a second set of cushions to replace version 1.0 of this whole heated furniture experiment. This will be quick though. By the time I'm done talking, we'll have that finished. And there you have it, 2 heated outdoor chairs. And for the temperature outside, we've got 71 degrees, but on our heating pads, we're reaching high 80s. Ooh, look at that, we've got 90 degrees. And these haven't been on for long. Realistically, you need to sit in these chairs when it's cold outside to build up heat. But I've been sitting in this chair for about 15 minutes and I can really feel the heat building up behind me and underneath me. That's reading 61 versus 85, 87. The back cushions are warm too. Check that out. This is awesome. It's really working. These chairs have been on for about 3 hours and they've got 42% battery left. So on high, this should last about 5 or 6 hours, which is perfect because if you've got a little hangout or kickback on the back deck, you could have these chairs on the whole time using the battery bank, not worrying about them running out. I'm just really excited and happy that this idea worked out. The thing I'm most excited about is the fact that you can't even see the heating elements on the back cushions. On the seat though, where the cushion's a little bit firmer, you can see the heating element just a bit. But when you sit down on everything, you really don't feel it. And especially those thin wires feeding the pads, like right here and here, they're very inconspicuous. I barely feel them and I don't see them. And all in all, I'm not like the most proud of the wiring, but I think it looks pretty clean for a prototype. And I do also have the DIY sofa that I might do a pro version on. I got more cushions. So thanks a ton for watching. Make sure and like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Oh, and let me know if you try this, but also don't try it at home. Just be safe with electrical and don't do anything risky. We'll see you next time on Modern Builds. I'll be testing all 4 of the same adhesive methods